Hey, what's up, everybody? Emerald Gamer here with the first Gamer Speak in 66 years. Today we're going to be covering the Sword and Shield news that just dropped today. And holy sweet Christ, I was so excited for this, and I'm so glad that the 15-minute direct was not ass, because it normally is. A huge tangent on that, but I'll get to that later. That's for another time. We haven't had any word from them on this game in 4 to 5 months, it seems, and it's been kind of tearing at my soul a little bit. So let's go ahead and talk about this. The presentation of the trailers was a little strange, so I'm just gonna reorganize it and talk about it in the way of importance that I felt like that they wanted to do it. But it was very jumping back and forth all over the place. It was morbidly confusing. I was like, watching the trailer that they showed off at the beginning of the direct, I had so many fucking questions, and it was not answered very quickly. So I'm just gonna get through it as good as I can after that nice little fist bump score bunny picture. Very, very epic, very cool. So we're gonna start off with the Pokemon that they announced. Some of them that they said that, like, I guess they mentioned that a lot of them won't evolve. At least that's what they implied. I don't believe that, but whatever, it didn't make sense. One of them it does. The others, I could see room for an evolution or two. But anyway, first thing we got is Wooloo. Wooloo is, yeah, I love it. I'm obsessed with it, and I love it. I've always said we've needed more sheep Pokemon. We've needed a lot more kinds of specific species of Pokemon that we kind of already have, but haven't expanded on enough. We have Mareep, like the electric type thing. But I don't think that gives that justice, considering Ampharos is some weird abomination of something that's supposed to be a sheep, I guess. I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be. It's definitely not a sheep. I don't believe it. Not one bit. Nope. But Wooloo's a sheep. That is going to stay a sheep. And when it evolves, and I do mean when, because there's no way that this thing is just a one-off. It'd be kind of weird. It's very small, and doesn't look like it's very good. Like, in terms of, like, whatever it does, it definitely seems like it can evolve and get bigger. So, I kind of want to see that really badly, but, you know, we probably have to wait, considering how much time we have left until the game comes out, and how much news we've gotten thus far, so we'll just have to see. Next up, we got Dreadnought. Kind of an unoriginal name, but it pretty much, like, gives away, like, the theme of the Pokemon, I guess, if that makes sense. You can tell he's very tanky. Get it? Dreadnought. Yeah, I didn't appreciate the pun either, don't worry. But I really do like this Pokemon, like, a lot, design-wise. I could tell he's probably going to be like a ground water, maybe? Maybe even a fire water. Maybe he's going to be like a Volcanion thing, maybe not, I don't know. But I definitely do see him evolving as well. Next we got, I'm gonna butcher this. I'm sorry. Gossifleur, I don't know. They said it, but it was very, like, I didn't really catch it very well. Maybe I did, but there's no way that I was gonna get that on the first try. But usually, as someone who's into the basic grass Pokemon that's not your starter, as like an alternative to picking the grass starter in case I don't like the grass starter or whatever, not super into this one. It's like I can guess it's probably going to be like a dandelion thing, maybe. Mostly because of the evolution that they showed off. We'll get to that. I don't know. This one just kind of just looks like a flower with hair, and it looks like a flying green poop. So I'm not like super excited about it that much. It looks a little off, if you know what I mean. It's just kind of weird. And then we got Eldegoss, which Eldegoss. No, there's no R there. But it looks like that puffed up like dandelion stuff, like before it's an actual flower, I guess. But it's pretty neat, I guess. It looks at least a little bit better than the last one, but at the same time, it doesn't really stand out to me still yet. Although I could see the second evolution, rather, being like actually super neat looking, maybe. I don't know. We'll just have to see. And then next, we have... I think I've recruited my second member on the party already for the playthrough. Which, by the way, your ass better believe there's going to be a playthrough on this game. Because there's no way I'd miss out on the very first... Well, technically, the very first actual new generation on a console that I can easily make footage of and enjoy for the rest of time. And I definitely will do that. But holy crap, Corvi Knight. But... this thing is fucking metal dark. It's a fucking metal Dark Knight thing, and I fucking love it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic, and this one definitely seems like it's either at its fullest peak in evolution, like they lied to us or something, or they're bamboozling us. Like this is the final evolution to the bird thing, to the whole. Usually we get like a bird in every generation that's just like at the start, and it evolves up into some at least decent Pokemon. But this one definitely seems, the way that they showed it off, might seem like it just doesn't evolve. And I'm okay with that, because holy crap, this thing is cool. But, finally, can I get a drum roll for the new legendaries, please? Thank you. Sorry, I'm just a one-man crew, I gotta do it myself. Anyway, ta-da, they're both the fucking same thing. Look at the sword one, look at the shield one. No one can tell the difference. There's no difference between the two of them, and no one can argue that with me. There's no reason, there's no argument that can be made for one or the other. They are legitimately, essentially, the same thing. I do appreciate the color scheme on them. The color scheme on them is very appealing. There's not too many Pokemon that I can think of that sort of have like a red-white, like a primarily blue with like white and red. It's kind of like a almost like manufactured kind of like color scheme, I guess. So obviously they wouldn't really do it that much. But also gold mixed in there as well. It's just really neat how they designed them. I'm definitely into both of them. However, my decision on which game I was going to play has definitely fucking was going to be influenced by the legendaries, because I couldn't tell which one I was going to pick, and this still doesn't help me. I'm going to be sitting at GameStop trying to decide which one to get, because holy sweet Jesus, it's not going to be an easy pick. It's really not. But in the end, it most likely doesn't matter, but I care about the legendaries at least a little bit, because it is, kind of a point of playing whichever version you get. So, I don't know. I just feel like they're the exact same thing, and it's kind of disappointing. Although the cutscene was kind of neat that they did for him, like the CG thing, like pre-rendered. It's not even a cutscene, I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but the trailer where like the wind blew, they met up together, they fought for like 2 seconds for some reason, and then they were like, oh, we're good. And then the wind blew, and there was obviously like some ominous third legendary that was like, they're gonna both fight it, I guess. I don't know. Seemed really interesting to me, but we'll just have to see what that is. It's probably that giant that's in the painting, I guess. Or that was on like the carving in the wall in the first trailer, but we'll have to see. Moving on from all that, from the Pokemon, we get to the we get to the characters that they announced. Which, I mean, usually they do this in every Pokemon trailer. They announce like a character or two, just to show you like the world that you're in, I guess. Which Pokemon cares about story. I get that. Usually they're bad, like usually, but. Let's just go through them anyway. We got the rival, who seems pretty interesting, honestly. Not necessarily like a How, but he could be, like from the last generation, I guess. I don't know. I kind of miss when the rivals were like really mean to you all the time, and like just were like spoiled sports whenever you beat them, because they ultimately are like really not that great. But yeah, I don't know. Something about that's just interesting to me. But now with all the whole like friendship and shining happiness and all that, it's kind of taken the fun out of rivalry, I guess. Then we got the professor, which is like the old lady, and her assistant, which I forgot both of their names. Definitely forgot both of their names. The rival's name is Hop, by the way. And then we got the first gym leader, which I assume is the first gym leader, because why would they just randomly show the second one? Unless they had story relevance, which I guarantee you he doesn't. The only thing that's defining about him is the fact that his nose was replaced by freckles. Very interesting. I don't know how he smells anything. And then we have probably my least favorite design in almost any character in all of Pokemon. This is the champion. I don't remember his name. I'm not going to spend the time to look it up in the middle of this video. But I could definitely maybe see him as being like the villain somehow, like of the team, like of the evil team. That would be interesting. But holy crap, his design is just bad to me. He's wearing I couldn't really capture it very well, but he's wearing like this weird like top hat that has like a drawing of a crown on it. At least that's what it looks like, and it's like really goofy looking. And his facial hair is kind of whack. And he's got like a weird like king's robe on with like some fucking soccer jersey. It looks really dumb. I don't I don't like it at all. It's kind of weird. But that's really all they did for characters and stuff. Thankfully they didn't dread on it too much. Next we have the wild area. Holy crap. I've been waiting since they took it out in 5th generation. I've been waiting for a Safari Zone for so long, and I think I finally got it, just a little bit different. I think I'm okay with it. Honestly, it's a pretty big step for them, if I'm being real. For those of you disappointed that it wasn't an open world, like the game isn't like an open world thing, here's your open world Pokemon. It's a sandbox, and they're probably going to continue to work on that, on this concept, to make sure that Pokemon in the future is a lot like this, instead of like the linear path that they've been doing for 20 plus years. But this is a break from that. It's a completely like free roam sandbox area that seems to be pretty big. They said it spanned from one city to the next, so clearly you either come to this at some point and then have to come back to it every time you get progress in the game, I guess, to find new stuff, or it's like really late in the game and you can just fucking have at it, go ham on fucking finding all these like absurdly rare Pokemon that most of the time in most games you would not find just out of the blue, like you do in here. They also said that the different types of Pokemon would show up depending on like time of day, and there would also be like weather occurrences, I guess, which I would assume would be like calendar-based stuff, because I don't know how else they would do that. Calendar or time-based stuff. Maybe even seasonal related. Who knows really? But from what we could tell, they just kind of showed off screenshots of like Pokemon just kind of like that you can find. There's like a Braviary, there's a Steelix hanging out, there's like a Golurk at night, and like some other ghost Pokemon, and like a Duskull I think over there in the corner. It's kind of small. We've got like a Rhydon and like a Sandstorm area, like a Sandstorm place, I guess, in that same place. You can see like on the lake, the Pokemon are just kind of like hanging out, like in Let's Go, where you can just like actually go to them and I assume battle and catch them that way, which is pretty neat. Also, this man is riding a bike with like fucking floaties for wheels. This is getting revolutionary. We can now ride our bike on water and then off of the water and not have to surf or anything. So I think they might be getting rid of TMs still, or HMs rather. I think honestly that's still probably a great move, although sometimes I kind of miss the HMs in a weird way. I don't know. If you want a Pokemon to learn Surf, you have to jump through some hoops now, and it's kind of annoying. Anyway, moving on. They also announced that in this area that you can do like multiplayer stuff, 4-player co-op. They said. With I don't know if you can actually meet up with players in there, or if there has to be like a lobby system for it or whatever, but it did show like for like actual player characters meeting up, and then shit hit the fan and I was very confused. So in the trailer that they showed like someone's like a trainer's like Raichu becoming a fucking kaiju, and that's how they ended the trailer, and I was very confused. So initially I thought that these were just this was the main mechanic, which spoilers it is. It's called Dynamaxing. It's very weird. I don't understand. Well, I guess I understand the name, obviously, but like, it's kind of strange, I guess. Where you can just turn your Pokemon into a fucking kaiju, and you have a kaiju battle for 3 turns. It lasts for 3 turns. and it powers you up and empowers all of your moves in some whatever way that they feel like doing that in. Most likely it'll be like sort of scaling, where there will be one move for every type, physical or special, like Z moves, and the power will scale depending on the power of whatever, the base power of the original move, whatever, either way. Big concern about this, it's either going to be way overpowered or not powerful enough. In a sense, it's probably going to be either better or worse than Megas, and it'll probably be most likely worse than Megas, I feel like, in a way, because there's no way that they want to make this so broken where you can just do this whenever appropriate when battling with your friends or whatever, and just absolutely wipe the field for 3 turns. Like, I don't get why they would let you do that at all, but we will have to see. They don't have really much information on it. In the wild area, you can do like raid battles, which is kind of basically just like a true boss battle, which I absolutely enjoy that idea, honestly, that you can do that. And then you can attempt to catch the Pokemon and make them like smaller, I guess. At least I would hope. I don't think they would make Pokemon like permanently big. I think that would be kind of weird. But other than that, they then announced the release date, which is November 15th, which isn't a horribly long time compared to, when we got the news and when the game was announced. So this may be the only news update that we get, possibly. The only big one that we get anyway, until the game's released. And then by then, we already have the game in our hands, so it's just up to us to figure out the rest. But absolutely can't wait. You bet your ass there's going to be a playthrough. This video's gone on way long, so I think I'm going to call it here. Thank you so much for watching. This has been another Gamer Speak, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.